All right, welcome back to another episode of the Top of Our Cricket podcast. I am your host, Kevin Henry, and with me, I got my by them, Walter and Sam. And as usual, we talking everything West Indies cricket. So, fellas, last night, we seem like we making it a habit of coming up short less than 10 runs. In the T20 matches recently, there was one game where we come up short 3 runs. Next game, there was 7 runs, right? And it all comes down to a few things: not holding our catches and the starts that we're getting up at the top. And ultimately, which is the reason why we're coming up short. But what I really wanted us to talk about tonight was middle order batsman Sherfane Rutherford. Everybody seemed to have been on Rutherford's neck because of his form in the T20 matches, especially. And over the past 2 months or 3 months or so, he's had a rough go at it. But a lot of people have been calling for his head. You know, they want him dropped. But when you look at what Sherfane has done over the past year, I don't think many people have taken that into consideration. Right? The type of form that he's been in, the run that he's been on in one-day cricket especially. And you have a couple of months of lean form and everybody wants to get rid of you. I've always said, he needs time. Everybody needs time to, get over that blip in form. I don't know where you guys stand on it. I know we had talked about it previously in previous episodes, I should say.
Sammy?
Oi, they say numbers don't lie, but of course, numbers have to be put into context, yeah?
Yeah.
But if we look at the numbers, so Sherfane would have played 20 matches, and of those 20 matches, ODIs I'm talking about, obviously. Of those 20 matches, he would have batted in 18. And he has an average of 47.4. Now, I think for an ODI, I don't know what is the global average, but I think 47.4 is damn good, right? 2024, I think the story was we all agreed that Sherfane was Mr. Dependable. West Indies could be in a hole, and you see Sherfane walks out and you relax, or at least, you know. But this year, we've seen where he has struggled, and I think when we think of Sherfane, because it's white ball cricket, very often we don't distinguish between ODI and white ball. We just say, Sherfane is struggling, right? When it comes to ODI this year, I mean, you could see where there was a bit of a fall off. So, for example, for this year, his first ODI would have been in June. There's a 70 against England at the Oval, and then against Pakistan, he had a 10, a 45, and a 15. Move ahead to Bangladesh, it was 0, 7, and 12. You see? So clearly in Bangladesh, that's where when it comes to ODI, it really hit a head whereby something was off. I don't know if it was mental. It could be him being tired. I mean, we've said time and time again that our players do play a lot of cricket. And this is something we've got to appreciate when people talk about the great 80s and what folks did that time. They weren't playing as much cricket as our guys do now. So not to say that, oh, our guys are better than anybody on it's just because of how much cricket they're playing. But when we criticize our players, we have to look at things within context. You see? And that is one of the contexts, that there's a lot of cricket being played, whether it's international, franchise, you name it. All right. So yeah, definitely in Bangladesh, I think is where it really hit home to us that something is off with Sherfane. What that is, I don't know.
Some people are going to come with the argument, oh, well, a lot of the guys in the 70s, 80s, early
Mm,
90s, they played county cricket. Yeah, but there wasn't that much airtime.
mm,
No one was flying from India to Pakistan to Canada to this place to that part to the UAE, within a matter of weeks. You understand?
mm.
And then there's not much time to bet in yourself. There's not much nets. It's just straight to games and you play, right?
Right.
Nobody's thinking about all of that. And even today, I was listening to Ian Bishop as he was doing commentary, and he
Mm,
spoke about that. He said a lot of players are dropping like flies because of
mm,
the cricket calendar and the demands being placed on players today, right? Everybody got a
mm,
tournament in every corner of the world, and everybody want X, Y, and Z player. But nobody's
mm,
thinking about the physical impact, the mental impact on these players. So when the players show up and then they have a drop in form, everybody like, oh, droppy, he's garbage, droppy. But forgetting this same man here, so out of those 18 innings that you would have mentioned, he's passed 58 times.
mm.
Everybody
Well,
got
yeah,
hit the part.
Yeah.
and
But
he's been go Sammy, go Sammy.
no, just sorry, Wally. But just want to repeat too that we've been consistent here in that we weren't okay. We wanted Sherfane to maybe play match 4 or 5 of the T20 eyes. But our eyes, and you in particular, Kev, he was like, yeah, we need him for the ODIs.
Yeah,
And part of the argument we made then too was that, look, with the ODIs, there's no rush,
no,
right? There's a whole lot of time, and especially coming into the last night, where you don't have a massive total to chase down. That takes even more pressure off of you
yeah.
in terms of, as you say, scoreboard pressure.
Mm-hmm.
So you had all the time. So yeah, man.
I,
Sorry,
I,
Walter.
I thought Sherfin did his job last night. You understand? I thought he did his job last night. That wasn't the easy wicket to bat on.
But yeah.
The conditions weren't that ideal. And
Mm,
with that being said, you got to take your hat off to Darryl Mitchell. That was a brilliant
mm,
innings that Mitchell played. You know,
yeah.
that was a brilliant innings that he played.
It was a brilliant innings, and we dropped him a few. I think it's twice.
I think
So
three catches were dropped off of him.
yeah, and he took the advantage of it because at the end of the day, when you look at the scoreboard, it wouldn't say that he was dropped 3 times as you said.
Yeah.
When it comes to short film Rutherford, when you take a deep dive into his stats, um, as I told you guys, to be honest, I'll start with his when it comes to T20 cricket, um, he hasn't done excellent for West Indies cricket. He hasn't done excellent, and this slump in form is as it relates to T20 cricket is nothing. Is very consistent within with the last with his career actually.
Mm.
When you really look at his stats, you could see he has periods where he does well and then he wins a game or two for us. So, but when it comes to the one-day cricket, however,
Mm,
he has done well. He has done excellent, especially in this era where Hope was the one batsman that we have depended on for the
mm,
longest while. And I heard someone say today, and I tend to agree with this, that Hope is pong for pong one of the best batsmen in the world.
Pong for Pong, one of the best one-day batsmen in the world.
And he's pong for pong, and yeah. So the said it. There was another podcast, and I don't want to steal the idea, but we are not doing that. But I actually agree with that person. in saying that.
You agree is better than Kohli?
Yeah. Punk for punk, punk for punk, yes.
Over
Punk
the
for punk.
over the last however many years, if you were to look at Shea Hope's record as opposed to Virat Kohli's record, you would see that Shea Hope has outscored him tremendously.
And it's not that alone as well. The fact that we don't have all the resources that they have and what they have in India. So, but going back to Sherfane Rutherford, in the is one day, yes, he had a lean period in the last few series against Bangladesh and Pakistan, and he scored Pakistan 10, 45 and 15 and 0, 7 and 12 in Bangladesh, right? But as Kevin said, in his the 18 the 20 matches that he has played, he has one, two, three, four, five, six. I think it's 7 or 8 scores over 50 and 100, right?
Eight scores. Eight scores
Right,
over 50.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so he has been doing good, especially in a time where, as I said, we've been totally dependent on Shea Hope, right? Shai Hope. And so he has been doing good. So and today prove in New Zealand that he was excellent. He actually batted very well, and I mean he played that shot. He just I didn't get on it as much, and and another day he probably would have hit that for 6.
Blustery conditions is a tough day. You understand me? It's a shot. I don't fault him for the shot. He had to do something. You understand me? Given where we were in that moment, he had to do something. I'll say a couple of things. Let me start with Shea Hope, right? Let me just divert a bit. The reason why Shea Hope don't get the amount of love that a lot of these other batsmen get is because West Indies don't win. You understand? Had the fortunes of West Indies been different, the conversation surrounding Shea Hope would have been different, right? That's one thing. The second thing, Sherfane Rutherford, from when I first saw Sherfane to who he showed up as last year, it seemed like something clicked, right? Something clicked for Sherfane, and he looked a better batsman. What does the scores and the performances that you are getting from Sherfane Rutherford is because he's a better batsman, not just somebody who walks to the crease and looks to swing his bat. He's actually a better batsman. Is there a lot of things for him to iron out technically? Yes. But who he was pre-September, let me say September 2024, and then post two different batsmen. You understand? And that is why you've seen these scores that you're seeing here. And one of those reasons is because mentally his approach to the game is a lot different. In addition to some of the kinks that he's ironed out, right? He's a lot better player. So that's why when people were calling for Sherfane to be dropped and he's not this and he's not that, I am saying he needs rest. That's what he needed. He needed some rest. I think Brandon King needs some rest. You understand? What West Indies need to do is collectively put performances together. Shea Hope making runs, Casey Carty making runs, Sherfane making runs, Roston Chase making runs. Instead of one person making runs, and then we'll get within the vicinity of the score, or we get a decent total that we can't really defend. We need a collective effort from the top order. 3-4 players making runs. That is what we need. And these scores that you see Sherfane is putting out or Shea Hope is putting out, the conversation is going to be different because we're going to start winning matches.
I think part of the problem with Sherfane, it's not about Sherfane. It's just the expectations, because least we forget, Sherfane actually made a 51 in a T20 match this year.
Yeah.
Against Pakistan.
Yeah. He
And
did.
if you had put it in a multiple choice, people probably would have said, no, he didn't make no 50 because it's just like, he's having a
Mhm.
bad period and
So
it's
it's
just
easy
it's
to
just
miss.
all bad. But
Yeah,
but
it's
it,
easy to miss
as
that.
Walter said,
It's easy
yeah,
to miss that.
correct. So for me, it's just that Bangladesh period. I mean, two ducks. Um, of course, if we go back to Australia, yes, again two ducks at Kingston, right? But in between that, I mean, Australia at as what St. Kitts at 31 and at 35. But for me, really and truly, the Bangladesh, that is where I think people is like, what's going on? I can't remember CPL and what happened there,
He didn't have a good
but
CPL. He had an atrocious CPL.
oh,
He was terrible.
so there you go.
Yeah,
And I guess let's be tired. But as I said, when you look at his T20I
Mm,
and Samuel looking at the stats now,
mm,
I guess it's just the two ducks. But it actually,
yeah.
the two ducks. He had a few ducks actually. He had the ducks in
Well, two
back
ducks
to back
against
ducks in
Australia.
Australia,
I
right?
think he
Yeah,
had a
So,
couple, a
but
couple against Bangladesh also. Look,
yeah,
correct,
he's had a torrid time in
yeah,
T20.
correct.
he's had a torrid time, and the thing
Mm.
about it, but has been pretty consistent with his T20I
Being look
career.
behind, right? Yeah,
It's pretty consistent because he's had a few ducks in his T20I career. If you look even further up, right?
and guess what we need to consider too? The man's average is 18 for T20Is. And it's
And
T20,
then
you don't
and when does
expect.
he come into? That's the next thing, right? So these are the things
I
we
was
have to
gonna
take into
positions,
consideration,
right?
right? So
Yeah.
these are the things so T20, you see T20 cricket. A lot of times, the people that are really successful are the ones at the top and the ones that finish. And then, and then you might look at a 12 or a score at a 31, and then without looking at the context of the match,
The impact.
Exactly.
right? Because a
Exactly.
31 in a particular match could come off for 10 balls, could come off for 12 balls, and
Right.
you understand, come off for 8 balls, and it makes a
Could have
big
won the
difference.
game.
Yeah, it could have won the game in a T20, right? So, as you guys said, he's a lot of these players are tired,
Yeah.
and because we don't have the luxury of multiple players, and we're a few months away from a World Cup, I guess, we're trying to to at least have a fixed squad, and that's why it's like even the T20 cricket, even the T20 World Cup being every 2 years is annoying to me. It's like
It's very
it has
annoying.
lost it has lost
That's
its
busted.
value.
Yeah.
What is interesting, as soon like maybe 20 seconds before you mention position,
Hmm.
that's something I was looking at on his thing. And I'm glad you bring it up because guess what? Now, we don't know what goes on
Behind the
behind the
scene.
scenes of West Indies cricket, right? But if you go back 20 November 2024 and you go back, right? Sherfane was coming in at what? 6, 7. That's the position he comes in at, right? And then fast forward to 2025, June in England now, he comes in at 5, 2. Then it comes in at 4. So I'm wondering now, you talk about context.
Hmm.
Whatever changes Kevin's favorite coach in the world might have been doing and crunching the numbers and saying, no, man, maybe you're better off at 4 or 5. And could these things all play into unsettling the fella? I don't know. But I'm just saying,
Hmm.
Walter, the point about the position he comes in at is important to note. Now, of course, it seems as if he's now settled at the 4 or the 5th position, apparently. When it comes to T20Is I'm talking about. Like there's been a shift in that position under Coach Sammy. I don't know. But
As,
but Coach Sammy was there before though. It's just that what am I saying? I mean, I don't know. I don't know if there's anything that has changed.
Sammy has been the
So,
coach since
I don't know.
2023, right? I'll, I'll,
Correct.
I'll say a couple of things. T20 cricket is a lottery, first and foremost.
Mm,
You have to understand that. You understand me?
mm,
There's only a select few players who are incredibly consistent at churning out
mm,
runs or taking a lot of wickets, right? There's only a select few players.
And the
Hmm?
and the batters are the top of the order.
Right. So you can show up today and you have a good game, and then tomorrow you get a good ball. Then what? The next day you get a good ball again. Then what? Right? With that being said, Sam Darren Sammy has spoken a lot about players having roles. But when a player doesn't really have the surety of this is my spot, right? This is my spot. If I keep fluctuating up and down the order, the requirements of that position that I'm coming in differs, right? What is required of me as a number 4 batsman might not be required of me as a number 6 batsman, right? What I'm being asked to do on the day is different, right? In that moment or in that period of the game, that 2 over 3 over period is different.
Yeah.
And a lot of those things have to be taken into consideration. So it is just not, this man. I'm sure Sherfane Rutherford ain't going out there hollow, I can just swing all willy-nilly. I'm sure he's not doing that, right?
And the thing about it is that when a lot of times when Sherfane came in, he came in when the team as on a whole was going through a slump as well. So he came in when we lost a few wickets a lot of times. Right, and so he was stuck between that place between attack and defense, and having to go they've known him now. Sherfane, everybody knows Sherfane, so they will have plans against him, right? Having tight plans, leg side traps, playing and so they know how to bowl to Sherfane. And the fact and making those in game adjustments on the fly, right? Making those in games adjustments on the fly, right? Is hard, and I guess it contributes to it has and the tiredness will contribute to him being having that slump in form. So it's so many things that we don't know. But the thing about it, going back to what I say, one thing I'll say, he's back to playing one-day cricket, and he's back to doing what he has more time. Basically, what I just said, T20 cricket, Sherfane looks like the kind of player that he needs time. That's why the possibility could be that he'll be even better, a decent test player.
I'll say this. I believe that Sherfane, whenever he comes to the crease in a T20 game, I think he needs to give himself about 3, 4, maybe 5 balls. I know sometimes the game might look like it could run away from us, but Sherfane is the type of batsman that can catch up, and he can catch up quickly.
Yeah.
You understand? So I believe, I don't know what the conversations are like, prior to him going out there, but I do believe he should always be afforded 3, 4, 5 balls just to see things. You understand? Just to see things, get a feel of the pace of the wicket, see what the wicket is doing, if how it's turning, or if it's bouncing, whatever the case it might be. If it has some pace, he should be afforded that, because Sherfane Rutherford can easily catch up because he's that type of batsman. So when I see him, when he came to the wicket against Bangladesh recently, and there were these wild swings, and even in against New Zealand a couple of days ago, these wild swings, I'm like, what is he doing? Give yourself a couple of balls, 4 or 5 balls. You can catch up. You got the power. Afford yourself some time to assess what's going on. But
what's also interesting, fellas, as we delve into this. Prior to Bangladesh, when Sherfane has played overseas, you know what his lowest score was? 50 not out. So in Sri Lanka, a 50 not out, a 80 and a 74 not out in Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
Then at the Oval against England, a 70. All the other games were in the West Indies. So overseas, he's done exceedingly well. And Sri Lanka, I guess subcontinent conditions, I don't know how radically different it is from Bangladesh. Again, we know Bangladesh had some
Sri Lanka
some
conditions
crazy
are some
looking
of the
traps.
toughest conditions to excel in. You understand? Sri
So
Lanka
there
conditions
you
are
go.
the toughest conditions to excel in. And they got good
There you go.
spinners.
Right.
Good spinners who understand their wickets, and you got to work for every run in Sri Lanka. When you see you do well in Sri Lanka,
Yeah.
tip your hat
Yeah.
because you
But
would
it's
have
interestingly too, continuing, he would have been talking about that position thing, coming in consistently at number 5. He gets a duck in Bangladesh and then he moves to 6.
Hmm.
Walter, I'm glad you zeroed in on that because there might be something there, we might look at it,
There
but
is
there could
something.
be something there that we're not privy to. I
Casey
don't know.
Carty, right? Casey Carty was fluctuating up and down the order prior to
Mm,
Casey Carty being said when Sammy said,
mm,
"You are my number 3." Look at his record at number 3 as opposed to prior to that when he was up and
mm.
down the order. But
When
just
we
look at it.
Yeah,
Consistency. You know this is your spot. You understand?
yeah.
You know this is your
I
spot.
mean, some people would argue, well, I can't tell unless I actually go into the games, but a particular overs too, we
Yeah.
get that. We get that. But just looking at this here, I don't know.
one of
There
the
might be something here that we're not
one of the
privy
things we must say about Darren Sammy,
to. Mm,
he has been pretty consistent in giving the players that he has picked since he has become coach
mm.
a fair run.
Yeah, yeah.
And I could say even Simmons used to do that, right? I think
Mm,
the people that had their own fear, and that's in the test, is Darren Bravo when he came back. He didn't get
He wasn't
in
afforded the time that he needed.
yes, and Bonner. In
mm.
recent history,
Yeah.
Bonner should have never been discarded.
No, he didn't do anything to be discarded.
Yeah.
There was the issue of his susceptibility against the short ball. He had the concussion. There was a susceptibility against the short ball. But okay, so who took him in the nets and say, well, let me work on this thing? You understand? No, I don't know, right? But I'm saying you have a batsman that has a weakness against good, quick, sharp bowling. How do you help him, right? The next best thing can be, well, we shun him to the side because Nkrumah Bonner had one of the highest averages of West senior batsmen in the last 10 years.
30.
No, but
Yeah.
Walter, you laugh at 38, but 38
Yeah.
is a good test average. You
I
understand?
mean, I know it's better than Kyle
38
Hooper.
is, 38 is a good test average. Enough men right now that are being hailed around the world don't average 38.
Yeah, I know. You're right.
You understand me?
By the way, go South Africa.
We coming to the okay. Yeah.
Listen, people,
Go Bavuma.
yes, go Tembo. You understand me? That was a brilliant second innings knock. I watched a piece of it. It was a brilliant second innings knock. Listen, you can have all the money, you can have all the resources. You understand me? But if you don't got the heart for go out there and war, and that's what the Temple Bavuma is prepared to do. The Indians didn't have the heart for go there and war. Temba Bavuma looked like he was out there at all costs. I am going to stick in here and they're going to take a front end loader for move me. Big up Temba Bavuma. With all the nonsense that they've talked about him, he has one of the highest averages as captain in the 11 tests that he's captain.
Never lost a match.
Never lost a match. You understand me?
As captain.
Oh, almost 1,000 runs in those matches. 11 test matches, almost 1,000 runs, 3 centuries, and I think 6 or 7 half centuries. But people talking nonsense about Temba Bavuma. The man win y'all a world test championship against the odds. So we know it all comes down to, and I'm going to say it, racism. You understand me? That's what it comes down to. Because South Africans talking bad about the man.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah. So go Bovuma. Go Bovuma.
Anyways, I don't know if y'all got anything to add on the short the Sherfane being in the spotlight tonight. People, this is one of the things that we've started doing. You know, we'll choose a player or players or a match or a situation and put it under the spotlight and we talk about it, right? Love the response that we've gotten so far in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, do all the necessary things. You know, let the channel grow. We enjoy the interaction that we get from y'all, whether good or bad.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
The one thing again I just like to highlight. Our guy out got out again sweeping. And he fell right into the trap. You know,
that's like what, 6 or 7 times in the last however many matches.
I think he should put it away and just like he was batting good, and I think that he should have. You know, sometimes again, Anthony's brother, if you listen to this or anybody listen, you need to get greedy, bro. Take the shot away, and that while they could have just either defended or just look for one and just battle it.
You've got to get, because for him it's his release shot. If he can't get to do what he wants to do, and teams know that, so they starve him, right? They starve, and it's like he's being forced into playing the shot. You've got to know that teams are doing this to you. So it's not like you don't have a wide array of shots. It's not like if you get a signal that something is wrong. It can't always be you playing this shot and it's a low percentage shot. It's a very low percentage shot. I'm not saying it doesn't have its place in the game, right? But you have to understand where you are in the moment. What is required from the team? What is required from you?
Kevin and Sammy, before we finish, right? When we're looking at Sherfane Rutherford and I'm just looking at his scores and the impact, and he has had 40% of the time that he plays. Out of the 38 innings, 13 of the innings, he had a clear positive impact on the outcome of the game.
What are we talking about?
Which one day or T20 cricket?
T20 cricket.
Okay.
T20,
yeah. Because we already agreed that he's doing excellent. So when he fires, he often directly contributes to a win.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's good you brought it up, because I think part of the concern some people have for that 55, it's a good knock, but I think the expectations were, carry through.
Yeah.
See us through. But I'm grateful that
a lot of times the small scores and they are a lot more impactful than we've realized. Even though he is inconsistent, he has been inconsistent. He has won us a few matches.
If you look at the innings last night, right, fellas? If you look at the innings, the scorecard last night, there was a consistency of middling scores. Let's call them middling scores, right? Shea Hope 37, Carty 30 something, Atanis 20 something. Chase was looking good until he got out. What was that, 20 or whatever it is he made, or 16 or something? Romario made, 16. How much Shep he made last night?
26.
26, So
I agree with you, yeah.
Yeah, it was a consistency. Not every time somebody needs to score a century. Would we have all loved to see Sherfane batted until the end? Yes. But that means other people decided to step up, right? It was just a matter of, I honestly think Casey Carty has got to learn how to work the ball into the gaps. He has got to learn how to do that, because he's finding himself where he is stuck in second gear, and then he can't get out of it. And before you know it, he would have soaked up 50, 60 deliveries and scored only 20-something runs. I know he has the ability to make up, but like last night, he didn't get the chance to make up, right? So he's got to work on nurdling this ball around.
So, quick thing. He has 31%, 32% of his innings, as I said earlier. He has a high impact on the outcome of the games in the T20, right? So that's 12 of his 38 innings, and medium impact in 10 of. Obviously, there's 16 that that didn't do a lot, but so 22 out of his 38 innings, even though the scores look as bad as it is, he did contribute to the outcome of the game in a positive way for West Indies. And the fact that he's playing that finishing role, historically, finishers are inconsistent. But whenever they produce a knock, especially and are we talking T20, he produces a match-winning innings, right? So,
yeah. Much ado about nothing.
So we can end on that note. Much ado about nothing with regards to Sherfane Rutherford. So listen, y'all can choose to have all the commentary on Sherfane and this and that, but the numbers don't lie, right? As Sammy said earlier, the numbers don't lie.
It's T20 cricket.
Numbers don't lie. The numbers tells the story. Anyways, fellas, it was great having y'all on tonight. West Indies, once again, before we go, I would call it a tough loss. You understand? I would call it a tough loss. There was a genuine chance of us winning that game, especially the fact that we batted 50 overs. Last thing before we wrap it up, I want to give a big shout out to the under-19s today for that complete performance against the England under-19s. A team that, a lot of people are actually thinking that we're going to lose this series. This first match, the guys played, it was phenomenal. I love the way how they bowled. They supported the bowling in the field. And when they batted, except for the first three batsmen, who I think they have some work to do in terms of how they approach the game. But young Jonathan Van Lang, young Joshua Dorn, I think West Indies have two gems in those two young men, and they should absolutely pour every ounce of resource that they need to into them, because when you look at them, it is night and day between the two of them and every other player. Night and day. That's how I saw it.
It's a pity Joshua didn't make the 100, but a 19 and 1 day is still,
The type of leadership that I saw from that young man with that innings today, up until that he was bold.
Yeah.
Not the fast.
That was a beautiful delivery, bro.
You can't knock them, man. That was a real top-notch leg spinning delivery, drop on middle and leg or whatever it is, and knock the top of off. Hey.
Top of
wow. Knock the top of off. Hey.
Yeah.
Big fellas. Good having y'all once again.
Yeah.
Catch y'all later. Top of off.
Yeah.
We out.
Yeah.